We're back in my kitchen now, where we're going to prepare the antipasto tray. I've got a sauce pot here that I'm going to go ahead and preheat on the stove and get ready to do our marinated olives and also our spiked cherry jam. Let's get started with the spiked cherry jam, shall we? Here on the stove, got about 4 cups of pitted cherries from Levering. Gonna go right into the sauce pot with these. You hear them sizzle. That sugar that goes right in there starts breaking those just like peaches or any other stone fruit right up in there. Also, we're gonna go ahead and add about 3.5 cups of sugar. Making this spiked cherry jam. It's the flavors of summer. It's just so beautiful. Get that sugar all good and mixed up. Next, I'm gonna do about 2 cups of balsamic vinegar. This is your everyday, ordinary store-bought. No need to buy the expensive stuff. We're gonna let this reduce a little bit. While it's reducing, I'm gonna pull it over here and we'll go ahead and get our antipasto tray, the second part of it started, which is our marinated olives. First, about 2 teaspoons of extra virgin olive oil going into the pot here to heat up. Next, we're gonna actually add 2 cups of chopped sweet onion. Around these parts, we use Vidalia, but wherever you are, chances are there's a sweet onion that's grown where you're from. So pick out something that's local if you can find it in your farmer's market, just like we found most of this stuff in the Raleigh farmer's market. And it goes, nice little sizzle sizzle from that olive oil there. We're gonna go ahead and caramelize these. There, we got some good color going on that. Now I'm gonna add the olives. These are your store-bought Kalamata olives, about 4 cups. I like Kalamatas because they're always marinated in some type of red wine, which happens to be my favorite wine. Now comes the cherry part. This is 2 cups of our pureed cherries. You can make your own cherry puree from pitted cherries from your local market. And all you need to do is just take the cherries, pit the cherries, and take them and put them in a blender. It's that simple. That's cherry puree. Now, I'm gonna put a lid on this, pull this back over to this burner here. We're gonna check. Oh yeah, these are reducing beautiful. Now, for our jam, you can tell we have our balsamic vinegar simmering away here and reducing beautifully with the sugar and the cherries. Now, I'm gonna take about a half a tablespoon of chili flake. You use whatever type of heat you feel comfortable using. I like a lot of heat because when I had cancer, common things like chilies used to help me combat things like common colds and common germs. And also, I've got a little bit of garlic powder here. I'm gonna go right in there with this. Give that a little shake. Mix that in. All right. Now that this is simmering away, I turned the heat down on this a little bit because we're getting ready to thicken this up. This is 1 pouch of pectin. You find it in liquid form, and you also find it in solid form in the form of powder. It looks a lot like powdered sugar, you can tell, or kind of like, there's a generation of kids that had something called Fun Dip when I was a kid, and this is like the powdered Fun Dip. You'll really like it. It's citric acid. It's largely citric acid based, and we're gonna add it to this. Almost overflowing. Again, I turned the heat down on this a little bit. Go ahead and add this in. Pull that back over to that stove right there, and we'll bring our olives back over. Now, our olives look like they're simmering really nicely. I'm gonna add the chili flake, a little bit of Italian seasoning or herb blend, whatever you prefer, and some garlic powder to our marinated olives. And over on the other end of the stove here, where our spiked chili jam is, we're gonna add some fun Kirsch liqueur. This is one jiggerful, one shot of Kirsch liqueur, but I like a little bit more than that. So I'm gonna add 1, 2, off stove now. We don't wanna have a fire. 2 of those, and a little bit of salt and pepper to taste. Why do you add salt and pepper to something that's sweet? I get asked that question all the time as a professional chef. Do you know why we add salt and pepper to something that's sweet? It really, for whatever reason, Mother Nature always has a way to bring out sweetness. You counterbalance it with saltiness, and it brings out extreme sweet. And that's what we're looking for from this cherry jam. We're just gonna let this simmer a little while longer, and it'll be ready to plate up.